What's up? What's up? What's up? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Can y'all see me? Can y'all hear me? My screen just glitched and I was like, oh shoot. What's going on? I just want to make sure. Let me play the intro. I know there's a little delay, so let me just go ahead and play the intro and hopefully. How did that picture get crooked again? Oh my God. Here we go. What's up, everybody? Welcome to our brand new episode of Talk the Real Deal with AT2. And yes, I'm your boy AT2. How everybody doing? How everybody living? How everybody feeling? I don't know if I like the side chat. I don't know. Y'all like the little side chat on the side? You know, I can see the comments like on the screen. And can you guys see the comments on the screen? Can you guys see them? That is small as hell. I can't see shit. I can't see shit on this screen. I see Cassie right there, but I can't read it. I can read it from here. Okay, you said yes? Okay. Yeah, I'm all thrown off and everything like that. I want to apologize for running a little late. Definitely, I'm sorry. You know, don't charge it to my heart, please. Y'all know I be forgetful and stuff like that. But we're gonna have a good show. Now, I kind of thought about the way of covering the Diddy trial. I was gonna have to do it differently, considering I'm not there, and there's tons of different YouTubers there covering it. So why would you listen to somebody who's not at the trial versus somebody who is at the trial, right? So I was all like, the way I can come at it is bring up old stories to kind of go along with the Diddy trial and to show that, oh, well, there's some things that connect to what's going on right now. Because remember this whole interview that 50 Cent did back in 2010, where he said that he had a video, not the initial leaks that got out because Ryan Leslie computer got stolen, but some new leaks. And he said like these were explicit. And he was talking to DJ Whoo Kid, right? Now, we fast forward to when Cassie was threatening that guy. I thought she was threatening Jonathan Odie. No, it's this guy named Sujin that she was threatening when she was talking about, you know, I'm going to kill you and then he's going to kill you and all this other stuff. Remember, they had took him to Atlantic City. So we're going to talk about all that. So I want to go ahead and play the audio for you guys if you don't know what I'm talking about, where 50 Cent mentions this. So let me go ahead and share my screen. And shout out to everybody coming in the room. I appreciate y'all as always. Please hit that like button, all that good stuff. All right, 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Ooh, you know what would help if I turned on the sound? My bad. My bad.
Not the shit that y'all saw. Worse, way worse.
Wow. Are you kidding me?
Like penetration pictures and
Nah, come on, man. Come on, Fifth.
all that. And I didn't even I called the nigga. I said, yo, you fucking with this girl? Like, you like her like that? And he was like, yeah, that's my girl. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna send you something. You look at it, you call me back.
I'm gonna let it play.
I sent you the photos, the pictures and everything. And the nigga called back and was like, yo, thanks, man. Yo, I really appreciate that. Yo, where you get these shits from? And I said, you know, like, because they know, like, if something crazy is going on, if they send it to me, I'll make sure it get out there. Like, as far as this video.com is concerned.
Yeah, yep.
And those other properties. So they sent it to me. But, you know, I really kind of felt like those photographs was not happening because of Cassie. I felt like they was happening because of Puffy.
Right, right. Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? Because when a girl moves from a man and she upgrades, niggas be insecure. You know what I'm saying? They start feeling some kind of way, especially like whoever the guy was she was with in the photos versus where Puffy's at. And Puffy's, he ain't no slouch, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he's been able to take advantage of all the suffering.
So where did it go wrong though? Because I know y'all was cool. Like, where did it like, turn wrong?
I don't know what made him name that group that. That's what made me
Supreme
think.
Team.
Oh, okay, the print team. And then it was like, yo, why you do like why? Like,
Nigga Puff, like he called, we should kick it on telephone and shit after the made shit.
right, right.
And the nigga be like, matter of fact, they sent me the girl pictures, like pictures of this girl, like not the shit that y'all saw. Worse, way worse.
Wow.
Oh, you kidding me? Yeah.
Like penetration pictures and
Nah, come on, man. Come on, Fifth.
Penetration pictures and stuff. Mind you, you know that Diddy, this is what he liked. He wanted the explicit stuff. The ones that got leaked from Ryan Leslie's computer, those specifically were more, whatchamacallit. Those are just like nude photos. And I'm not saying nude photos are just whatever, but those are just Cassie nudes. I think it was like her topless or something like that, right? But the ones that 50 Cent are describing, he said these are graphic. Like these are penetration. Penetration. Mind you, as far as we know, the only other person that she ever been with was Ryan Leslie. Okay, he had his copy, but who's the other guy? Notice, of course, Cassie was sleeping with different escorts that Diddy would hire. Remember? So let's continue.
all that. And I didn't even, I called the nigga. I said, yo, you fucking with this girl? Like, you really, like, you like her? Like that? And he was like, yeah, that's my girl. I'm like, all right, I'm going to send you something. You look at it, you call me back.
Oh,
I sent him the photos, the pictures and everything. And the nigga called back and was like, yo, thanks, man. Yo, I really appreciate that. Yo, where you get these shits from? And I said, you know, like, because they know, like, if something crazy is going on, if they send it to me, I'll make sure it get out there. Like, as far as this Diddy.com is concerned.
Yeah, yep.
And those other properties. So they sent it to me. But, you know, I really kind of felt like those photographs was not happening because of Cassie. I felt like they was happening because of Puffy.
Right.
They were happening because of Puffy. There we go. So this is when we come to Cassie's testimony last week, where she's talking about a situation where some guy had approached her in New York and was all like, hey, I have your photo. You know, I have pictures or videos of you. And she was all like, what? Like, what's going on? Like, where'd you get that from? She asked Diddy, like, how did this guy get it? So he was all like, I don't know. Follow him, like ask him. And so she gets him to go to Atlantic City. And there's a part where it says the jury heard a recording Ventura captured of a conversation she had with the man in Atlantic City in March 2014. After the man claimed he had seen sexually explicit video, it was video. Okay, video of her. In the recording, she threatened the man multiple times. I will cut you up and put you in the effing dirt right now if you have it. She said, I'm going to kill you, and then he's going to kill you again. Ventura has previously told the jury Combs pushed her to get to the bottom of the situation. Whether there actually was an explicit video of her or how the situation was resolved was not established in Ventura's testimony. So what is interesting about this is that, and damn, I got this transcript off of Twitter, but the guy, he ends up confessing that it was DJ Whoo Kid who had the video. So mind you, this thing right here was from 2010 where he's having that conversation with 50 Cent or doing that interview. Then we fast forward, how did DJ Whoo Kid get that copy of, or how did he get a copy? Who did he get it from? And so since that conversation, and again, on that testimony, it was never discussed like what actually happened. Now, I do know that there was a conversation between Diddy and DJ Whoo Kid over. He had some unreleased songs that he released of Biggie and Tupac, and he had like a confrontation regarding that. But other than that, there was no other mention of like what actually happened. Like, is the guy still around? Is he going to testify? We don't know. But that brings us to today with Cassie's mother. Cassie's mother said that her and her husband had to get a $20,000 loan because Diddy threatened to release a sex tape of Cassie. And because they didn't want that out there of their daughter, they got a loan just to end up paying Diddy. So that was extortion, that was blackmail. Just knowing that situation went down, was Diddy using this to solicit people, or we know he was using it for blackmail? I mean, they paid that. So is that going to be a part of this case as well too? I think there's more people who had video. Because remind you, Diddy's not in the video. It's Cassie in the act with these escorts. So was there more to it? You have to ask yourself about that. Was there more to these these recordings that Diddy had? Because I mean, how many times is he going to rewatch it over and over again? The crazy mother is probably still watching. Well, he's in jail now, but he probably was still watching it after they even broke up. You know what I mean? I always tell people, when you be sending nudes and you doing all of that, just know more than likely it's not just for that person. They're sending it to multiple people. I probably got some photos floating around somewhere. I've only done a few videos of myself, but yeah, I probably got some shit floating out there. When I was sexy and slim. Now that I'm big and plump, no, that's not out there right now. Mm-mm. How can I highlight the names of the people? I don't know what you mean, Miss Barbara. I don't think you can highlight the names on the screen. Oh, you're talking about this over here. I don't think you can. You agree with me, beautiful? Yeah. But it's interesting how that situation went down. Now we know of this extortion. And mind you, they did not do a cross-examination. The defense, they asked if the defense had any questions for Cassie's mom. They said no. Knowing that they said no, and mind you, she was only on the stand for 30 minutes. Everything that she said probably was true. And on top of that, they knew if they had did a cross-examination, they were pressuring her, it would have looked bad for them. It definitely would have looked bad. Now, again, oh, and the security guard that was with her was the one Polly. So we've heard Polly, we've heard Roger Bonds. You know, Roger Bonds is doing a lot of talking in the beginning. Roger Bonds. And then there's a third one that we keep hearing about too. There's like these three main security guards that we keep hearing. Notice that none of them are Gene Deal, but there's three security guards that we keep hearing. There's a Polly, there's the Roger Bonds, and then there's one more. I forgot what their name is. But they seem to be around too. So my question is, are they going to have to testify? I know Roger Bonds has been kind of quiet, so I'm thinking that he's probably going to have to testify. I know tomorrow they're supposed to be having Kid Cudi, a psychologist, and then also one of Diddy's former employees, George Kaplan. Well, good question, Janine. We don't have the full list, so we don't know. There possibly could. The psychologist that's coming, I think her name is Deborah. I forgot what exactly her name is, but that could be his psychologist. I don't know. Cassie said she has done hundreds of freakoffs, and she said she would film for hours. So you can imagine how many videos he had. Yeah. And then also, where does he store them? I don't think they were all at that house. No telling who got a copy. You know what I mean? Oh, Winnie said she thinks that she had those encounters before. Okay, well, let's take it there. Do you think that Diddy learned this from Cassie then? Like all this filming and everything like that, do you think that's what inspired him? Now, I'm not saying it's okay, but do you think that's what inspired him? Was all that filming and everything? And he was like, oh, well, I kind of like this. Or when 50 Cent sent him those pictures or videos, he was all like, oh, wait a minute, you get down like this? I'm just saying. I could see it either way. Now again, am I saying like what happened later on? Is that okay? No, I'm not saying that. So please don't misconstrue my words. But I can definitely see it that way. Because remember, she was with Ryan Leslie. So because here's why I don't think I think it does have to do with Diddy and not just some not someone else. I feel like 50 Cent would have said Ryan Leslie. Because remember, he said something like, oh, yeah, the dude that she was with, like, da 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 da, like, he ain't no smuck or whatever. Diddy's not no smuck or whatever. Remember, he was saying that? So it had to be someone who was, like, good looking. And that's why 50 Cent would say that. Let me see.
Right. Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? Because when a girl moves from a man and she upgrades.
She upgrades. See? She upgrade. And I feel like if it was a celebrity or if it was Ryan Leslie, I feel like he would have said Ryan Leslie.
Niggas be insecure, you know what I'm saying? They start
and they would be insecure.
Feeling some kind of way, especially like whoever the guy was she was with in the photos versus where Puffy's at. Because Puffy, he ain't no slouch, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he's been able to take advantage of all the suffering.
So where did it go wrong though? Because I know y'all was.
See, but again, it can go both ways. Oh, happy birthday, Miss Barbara! Today's your birthday. I thought your birthday was in June. It's in May. Miss Barbara, let me see your birth certificate. You be lying. But say happy birthday to Miss Barbara, everybody. Yeah. So again, hey Abby. So again, I can see it either way. I can see this being before, but then that doesn't make any sense because who she was with before was Ryan Leslie, unless she was cheating or she had a situationship. But as I understand it, Diddy knew she had a boyfriend, and so he was trying to get her away from him. So Diddy had been plotting. He had been plotting on Cassie. You know, that's what makes me think about that. Like, he literally took her away from him, and she knew that he was already not he she was already in a relationship. Now Ryan Leslie, he never really went into detail about his situation or what happened really in the detail, but essentially he just kind of, when people talk about it, he just kind of agrees with the sentiment that yeah, Diddy took Cassie away from him. So I'm wondering. But again, my main point to circle this back was, okay, the mom said that he was going to leak the tape. I wonder, does Cassie know if he ever has leaked anything? Remember, he would also try to threaten that he was going to leak it in order for her to keep doing freak-offs. So that could be a possibility too. There's a few different angles that you can really see this. About the male prostitute Jules from your last video. Oh, I know there was the other guy too, Ash, and I guess he's in jail right now because ooh. Yeah, we're gonna have to come back for that one because I gotta figure out how I'm going to say that without saying the words so the video don't get demonetized. No, he said slouch meaning she upgraded to Diddy meaning status. Oh, is that the way you took it? I was thinking like he was saying like the guy that she was with, like, whoa, like, I don't think no man would be okay or in that sense. I think there was a point that there was a thought to pivot from her doing music to, I don't know if they were ever going to pivot her to do adult entertainment. I think more or less because remember she was still acting and stuff like that. She had a few acting gigs. She was in The Perfect Match. She was also in Honey 3 that was filmed in South Africa. So she had like legit acting credits. However, I feel like he just gave her crumbs. Like, okay, you did 75 freak-offs today. I'll let you go out and do certain events or certain things, red carpets or whatnot. But literally, you are my property. Another good question that I wonder that they haven't brought up: did Cassie make any money from doing any projects, or did the money go to Diddy? I wonder how come they are. Maybe I'm jumping the gun. I jump ahead a lot. But was the money going to Cassie directly or was it going to Diddy? That's what I want to know. Was the money going directly to Cassie or was it going to Diddy? Or was there a certain percentage like Diddy got like 75% and Cassie got 25%? Was she in one of those kind of deals? Because he felt like, oh, well, because also you got to remember, just not only was she the artist, but she also was under his management as well too. Boy, that Cassie is something else. How come they didn't call the police when they say he was extorting her mother? I just don't believe it. That's a good question why they didn't call the police. Now, I want to say this. It also could be a situation because Cassie mom did talk about like she threatened to I think it was either she tried to attack him or she threatened to attack Diddy when they were in Los Angeles and she was at Cassie's place or something like that. So I think it was a situation where her parents probably wanted her to get away from him, but she was like, "Mama, I love him." You know how you women do. Janine, you a woman. You know how. Here's the misogyny coming out. How y'all do? Mama, I love him. You know how y'all do. The parents probably wanted her to get away or try to get her to get away, but she was like, "Mama, I love him." And I don't mean to make a joke, but yeah, I don't want to, because again, a lot of people are like, where's the uncles, where the cousins, where her friends? Why nobody try to put? No, I think they did, but she did the "Mama, I love him." That's what she was doing. "Mama, I love him." That's the way I see it. I think she was doing that. "Mama, I love him," and then she stayed in the situation that she shouldn't have stayed in. And the and some people don't know that extortion, you can actually call the police on that. Some people don't know that. Because let me tell you, I didn't learn that you if somebody threatened to release a sex tape or something about you, I didn't know that you could call the police for that. I didn't learn that until a couple of years ago when I started talking more about this kind of stuff. AT2, maybe you should write novels. I don't know. That's a good question. Love scene with Terrence J and Cassie all over Robert Riley on the set of Perfect Match. Rob is my friend. He told me Diddy came up there and was eyeing him down. Yo, IE Network. There's actually an interview that I'm going to do a reaction to with Big Boy because now people are mad at Big Boy because of the questions he was asking, but he didn't know what Cassie was going through. But the timing of it was just wild because it was dated after the hotel incident, but was it really after the hotel incident? So, some questions. Yeah, y'all know him, right? Yeah, the mama, I love him. That's what she said. Yeah, and it's criminal. Yeah, I know that. Not that I've ever been extorted before, but talking about these cases and situations with these celebrities. Um, for example, because I was all like, okay, how did Kim Kardashian, Ray J, and all these other people who had a sex tape released about them, right? How does it get out? Like, you're telling me that you can't call nobody to get it stopped or tell them not to do it? Come to find out, all these people are in on it. Like they get a certain percentage from the video, but then they go on all these talk shows saying, I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe it got out. It's all like, you can stop that, right? If somebody's extorting you with a video, but then come to find out they planned all that Kris Jenner was behind all that. Isn't that crazy, y'all? Diddy gave the money back. Didn't that the mama accept them vacations Diddy sent her on? Is that something that you're saying on your own? I didn't see that in the transcript, or not the transcript, but I didn't see that on Twitter when I was reading what was going on in the court case. If that was true, now if you want to say like didn't he help her mom and blah blah blah? I don't know if he helped the mom. That's something that I don't know. Cassie, yes, but the mama, no. They lived on the East Coast. Cassie's from Connecticut. They lived on the East Coast. Cassie lived out here. And I mean, I'm pretty sure if there was somewhere like a family event, he probably sent them, but still, that don't give him the right to extort her with a video. And then I kind of wonder, like, okay, well, if you release the video or it gets leaked online, that doesn't look good for you. Like that was kind of weird, but maybe he just used that. Well, no, he did use it in a way to control her. Never mind. I just answered my own damn question. She said she wired 20K to Diddy and she borrowed money from the house mortgage. Well, the lawyers should ask her for the bank statements. Oh, okay. Yeah. Now, see, thank you, Kathy. Sorry, IE, you were right. You were right. Okay, that's what it was. See, I needed that context right there. Now I get it. Yeah. But here's the thing: the defense didn't want to ask her any questions, so that's why I'm figuring like this story that she told. I figure it was true. Like I didn't think they were lying. Like I figure it was true. That's why they didn't want to ask her. I mean, if anything, it's a bad look if they're not willing to ask her, like, well, has Diddy ever helped you? Has he did X, Y, and Z? Like, what was this really about? Are you lying? Are you just saying because you couldn't really pay Diddy back and you made up this stuff? Like, I just felt like they still should have questioned the mama. Diddy has done a lot of stuff. Only thing they really have on him is the videotape. If he should be punished, it is for the beating of Cassie. Well, again, it's not a DV situation. Well, it is a DV situation, but that's not what he's being charged with. Um, like I've always said, I think the Rico part, they're trying, but it's coming slow, and it's not really because you just can't have a Rico by yourself, you know. And the thing is, if this Rico case, if he is charged with this, they can seize his assets because they can say, "Oh, well, you made all this money and you used it to do criminal activity." They can seize his assets. Listen, his whole family is going to be hurt if they decide to do that. It was a bad look already to grill the mom is overkill. Yeah, that's what I figured, Abby. Like that would have been like, nah, we'll pass on that. We'll eat that. They can double back on it at a later time, right? Well, people need to put that out there. hmm And the transcript it said later he gave the money back. Okay. See, but even if he gave the money back, right? So here's the thing, because I can see it both ways, right? Even if he threatened them with the video, said, "I'm gonna do this if you don't pay me," blah 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 blah, all that stuff, right? That's still not how you handle a situation. If anything, he should have filed a civil lawsuit against them to try to get his money back, and not, go the route of like, "Well, I'm gonna release a video of Cassie if you don't pay me my damn money back." They're building a case. You're right about that. Yeah. The feds, okay, you believe they have everything they need. Okay. Yeah, bingo, he was never going to release them. They're already saying that to seize it. Yeah, I definitely think his stuff is going to be seized. I think it's a sole Rico because anyone that was involved took deals and flip. Yeah, just like the assistant that they interviewed today. What's the assistant name? I forgot, you guys, just off the top of my head. But the assistant that they interviewed, remember him? They were basically saying like, "Oh, did you get a puffer?" And the puffer is when they work out a deal to basically you're absolved of anything if you tell the truth and you testify. So they're trying to get that out of him, but he didn't answer yes or no, which I'm surprised because I thought if he had one of those kind of deals, that would be said. Listen, I figure anybody testifying, they got some kind of immunity. I kind of figured that off the top of my head. Because I'm not going to testify if y'all don't give me some kind of immunity or something like that. I done did all these crimes and shit. Did I say a proffer? Proffer, yeah. I said a puffer. You know what? Puffer, proper, whatever the hell it is, that deal. The pop, pop, pop thing, yeah. Where's the man that wrote the book? Listen, they hiding right now because they know them books were lies. They hiding right now. That's where they are. What's up, Don't Do Me? That's funny. We're the men that wrote the book. I don't see Chris Todd. Proffer, and they weren't. Oh, so they weren't supposed to bring that up. Oh. Okay, so legally you can't bring that up. Interesting. I wonder what other. No! Cassie is a married woman. Come on now, Kathy. White Jamal. Yeah, where is White Jamal? Hashtag White Jamal. Where is White Jamal? He's been very silent. I believe that book. Oh my goodness, Barbara. You lucky it's your birthday. But say no to drugs, damn it. It's more goddamn. Mrs. Barber know I love her. Well, say no to drugs, damn it. You know that book was a goddamn lie. I think the most intriguing things is that these. Oh, let me put your comment up. These were not celebrities freaking off at her. Remember, I said yesterday. Yesterday is I said maturing and realizing that it wasn't 50 billion celebrities on these Freakoff tapes. This was literally Diddy living out his fantasy and being experimental with his sexuality. Ooh, that's a big word right there. Diddy was being experimental. Is experimental a word? Experimental with his sexuality. Let me look that up, y'all. You know I don't like to lie. Is experimental a word? You know, experimental is not a word. I don't want to say experimental. I don't think it's experiment. I know what experimental is, but I think there needs to be a new word, experimental. Y'all don't think so? No. No. Okay. He was being experimental. All right, shit. Y'all don't like my words? Voyager. Yeah. Experimental is what he was doing. Yeah. No, not exploratory. No, that ain't a good one. No, I don't like that. Crime. Oh, I didn't see your comment. Good vibes. I'm sorry. Someone, someone do a background check on Cassie's husband because he ain't innocent. You know, a lot of people say that he was the one that wanted Cassie to sue. And possibly he could, but would she ever admit that? No. And you have proof that he was the one who wanted her to. It would be hard. But I do think Alex was the one who was behind this. Yes, I do. Trainer, yeah, he was the trainer. And hope, I hope they make Alex testify. I want him to testify. Thank you. It's you like it too? Yeah, I like experimental. Listen, that's my new word, experimental. I'm gonna get it trending. I'm gonna get that word trending, experimental. You like it too, John? Yeah, I like experimental. That's my new word. I'm coining it. I got it. Experimental. Remember the white drug mule? I'm waiting for him to testify too. Oh, but back to the assistant, you guys. What I wanted to say about him was that at first, you know, his thing about the Barack Obama shaped ecstasy pill, that shit was weird, and what he wanted in his room and stuff like that. And then they finally got to the meat and potatoes. His whole testimony was to show that, remember Cassie put in her lawsuit that he found out Suge Knight was somewhere, and so he rounded up his guns and got his crew with him to go murder Suge Knight. Remember that? And what the assistant basically confirmed that, yeah, that was true. That he was even in the van. He was like in a dark SUV or something like that. He was saying, I forgot exactly what car he was saying, but he said after that night he was done. He was offered other positions, but he said no. Listen, just like Kerry Morgan, they don't want to be around this hood ghetto shit. They don't want to be a part of it. That Caucasian man said, oh, no, thank you. This is getting too real. And he bounced. He did what he was supposed to do. Because my black ass would have been out of there after that. See, y'all thinking exploratory, but I don't like the way that I think experimental just sounds better. It just got a ring to it, y'all. Experimental. Yeah, but the drug mule, I think he got to be testifying too. You're right. I wonder what they make. Can somebody testify while they in jail? Like, would they fly him out, Suge Knight out? Well, no, he doesn't have a story to tell. This isn't really a story. Suge Knight probably don't even know about this. Right, right. Cassie still sitting up there saying she got love for their past and she doesn't hate Diddy. Yeah, that was kind of weird. She said, "I have love for the past." It's kind of like, so you still have love for him, but you made up the word that is the actual word. Listen, let me just have my win. Let me just win, okay? Remember one thing for sure: the government could do anything they want to do. Remember, they let a man that killed over 30 people go free for testimony. What case was that, Miss Barbara? I don't remember that. Oh, let me take this down real quick. Hold on. Yeah, I don't remember that case. You gotta tell me specifically what that was about. I don't know. You think Odie gonna testify? No, they probably don't need him to testify because if Cassie was able just to tell him like, yeah, we did link up and stuff like that, I don't think they would need to. Because today they had Sheree was his name, or AKA the Punisher. So what was interesting about that is that he didn't even know who it was because Cassie wore a wig, and then Diddy, he was in a, like they said, like the Muslim garb, like the hijab almost, where you couldn't see anything. But then he also said like they hooked up about 8 to 15 different times. I was like, wow. It's crazy because Jonathan Odie, he said that he hooked up with Cassie and Diddy about 12 times. Well, with Cassie, let me say with Cassie. So it seemed like they have that kind of number of like, yeah, we're going to hook up with these people about 15 times and then we're going to be done. He even said there were some times that he couldn't perform. He couldn't get erection because you got Diddy in the room with you and like he's like nervous and his anxiety and stuff like that. They also said that he's coming out with a book, something about freezer meat or something like that. And then Diddy and Cassie, that situation is going to be a chapter in his book. I'm like, I'm like, this fool is monetizing off. Yo, but I'm not gonna lie. Cassie and Diddy hired me for a night. I'm telling somebody. All they got was $800, and somehow they thought 800 was enough to keep quiet about. Like, that's crazy to me. I'm just thinking like they were paying more because when they said yeah, it was wads of cash, right? I'm thinking like they was paying like 10, 20, something like that. $800, like everybody testimonies like 800. I think he said he ended up getting like 1,200 or something like that. Gene was at court today. He wasn't testifying, but he was at court today. But see, you be stopping your bag that way. 800 just seemed low, y'all. How much money you need for a Freakoff? Let's do a 30-second countdown. How much money you need for a Freakoff? Ooh, this is a good one right here. Um, you know, after Cassie's testimony, I believe Alex is more in love with Cassie than Cassie is with Alex. Oh, I don't want to say that, y'all. I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that because this case is not about their love. But after Cassie's testimony, I really do believe that she has love for Alex, but I don't think she's in love with Alex. Does that make sense? What you guys are saying? What I'm saying, not what you guys are saying. What I'm saying. No, not while he's in jail. Yeah, I don't think she. Yeah, no, she's not going back to Diddy, y'all. No, I don't think that at all. With the observer in the room, 3K, please. Yeah, it got to be in the thousands. I'm telling you, because the way it starts out first is that you just get rubbed down with baby oil, right? Okay, you want to see me and my fat ass body get rubbed down with baby oil? Shit, I'll do that. I got Vaseline right here. I'll rub myself down for Vaseline for a cash app. Shut up. Don't judge me. Judge your mama. But, you just want me to lather. You want us to like touch, dry hump. Like, okay, I'll do that for, 5 Gs. But, actual like intercourse, and you want me to act out a scene and you want me to be on video and all this other shit. Yeah, we looking at 20K and upwards. Princess says we good. Shut up. What's up, Darius? Get you some. Hey, got that body oil. Get you some body oil. Yeah, I'm putting all the body oil all over me. Shit, for 5 Gs, I'll do it. So we got Vaseline close on the nightstand. Yes, we do. Yep. Gene Squill. Yeah, Gene is definitely not testifying, y'all. No, listen. Gene Deal is out there clout chasing like everybody else is clout chasing. He ain't there for justice. Because even if he could, you gotta, and this kind of goes back to Aubrey O'Day. Even if Aubrey, Gene Deal, Jaguar Wright, all these other people couldn't testify because they've been out here speaking too much, right? At least something that they said or something that they know of a crime would still be in the lawsuit. Knowing that none of the stuff that they have said is listed in any of the lawsuits and stuff like that lets me know, like, yeah, they've been out here lying. Or I don't want to say they're lying, but their stories are irrelevant to what's going on. And they weren't a victim as far as in, I had to do freak-offs. They more or less probably got screwed over because of money. Is Gene Deal the female Jag? Well, who was first? The chicken or the egg? That's how I feel. Probably, yeah, I know, but like last week, Gene Deal was going live. So yeah, he's there for a reason, you guys. Just like Aubrey is doing a recap of the trial, and she made it seem like she was supposed to be testifying. I did hear there was 4 white ladies on the jury. I just don't know everybody's nationality and race and stuff. I don't know. That's a good question. Gene, then yeah. I feel like Gene came before Jaguar Wright. Oh yeah, Joseph, we live, baby. We live. I wonder how the comments see over here. The comments look hella small. I can't see it on mine. I know they're trying to be like Twitch and stuff like that. You know how like all the Twitch streamers have the things on the thing? Yeah. I know what they're trying to do. I want to see how it looked real quick. I was going to wait until after the show, but I kind of want to see now. DJ Whoo Kid, that's who that is. DJ Whoo Kid, that's who that is. Yeah, see, it looks small on this side. They gotta make that bigger. Yeah, see, it looks small on this side. Yeah, they gotta make that bigger. Hold on, y'all. Can I click it? Oh no! Oh shit! What I do? What I do? Oh Jesus! Oh Jesus! Okay, we back. We back. Let me see. Chat overlay lets you display your comments, and then please note that the platform like Twitch may have specific guidelines limiting display. Okay. Yeah, I need it to be bigger. It's small, translucent. Yeah, it's too small. Gene was pre-Diddy. He was in the Puffy era. Yeah. When you click whatever you click, you never left. Yeah, the screen got bigger and like the comments disappeared over on the side. You know how StreamYard looks, Miss Barbara, but yeah, it disappeared. Gene Deal hates Diddy. Diddy fire him or something because he talked about Diddy so bad, or what he didn't get any of the girls Diddy had. Yeah, it sounded like, and that's the thing about Gene Deal. I don't think Gene is lying about everything, but it does sound like disgruntled employee. That's what it gives. No disrespect to you, but I'm actually ready for this trial to be over. It's not really entertaining, and the people find humor in this. Can't be no better than Diddy. And you know, BB, that's a good comment. And here's the thing, because at first I was like, okay, a lot of this stuff we're focusing. Even last week they're saying like we're focusing all on the sexual stuff, but they're literally bringing that up. That's why we're focusing on it. But I almost feel the reason why more of the sexual stuff and the weird kind of situations are brought up is to kind of pacify the situation. Like, it's easier to talk about, oh yeah, Diddy loves baby oil, than it is to talk about Cassie being beat or forced or coerced to do things. It's easier to talk about that and to make fun of it. And I think, you know, as Black people, we make fun of serious situations. You know, we find a way to laugh instead of being angry at something. I think it's like a cultural thing too. But also, I do believe it's important to be sensitive in a situation because, yeah, there was a woman who was taken advantage of. Oh, stuff. I'm gonna say it again. Gene Deal need to go to jail because he knew they was putting drugs and alcohol. And you know, and that's the thing too. Gene Deal has admitted to a lot of different things. I know some people argue with me, but I was like, no, Gene Deal has said he was in the room. He's seen it. He said he's seen it. And then he started saying more, like when people caught on, it was like, oh yeah, I was like secondhand information. He started putting it more like that than saying he was there. Remember? Getting an inside look is disturbing, right? Jag started in 2020 when COVID hit. Jag just came and regurgitated everyone else's story. Exactly. People use humor to cope. You're right, Hudson. Is this Saint Hudson or is this a different Hudson? Because I was like, isn't it Saint Hudson and not Hudson Saint? But maybe you somebody different. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't believe Cassie loves her husband as much as he loves her either. Zinga, I'm saying it. Again, I know people are going to be like, that's a distraction. That has nothing to do with the case. But again, it kind of makes me think like, okay, well, did he force her to do this? Like, because no matter how broke I get, a lot of the shit that is happening now, I don't think I could. I think this would just be a dark memory that I keep suppressed forever. This is some real dark shit, y'all. I think personally, I would have just kept this. You know how, like, when you're a victim of something, and you know, I've talked about this before. When you're a victim of something, sometimes you just suppress it and you don't really talk about it. Like, I've never gone into details about certain situations. Like, I brought it up because it was relevant to the story, but I've never gone into detail. Like, sometimes you suppress a lot of the stuff because it's all like, it's traumatic and then you're reliving it. I bet you anything, Cassie and Alex, they thought that they would do this lawsuit, and then once they got the settlement, it would be it. I don't think they expected for the feds to pick it up. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree with that. Do you think Alex and Cassie knew that the feds would pick it up? Okay, it is. Okay, it is. Okay, got you. Scandal came out about the Catholic Church. Interesting. Okay, I see where you're coming from. I respect that, Beefy. I feel weird calling you Beefy, by the way, because I'm all like, why your name Beefy? It's like calling somebody like Hot Mama 69. You're like, now what? Why you got that name? You know what I mean? Can you look at your spouse the same way and find out a man were urinating in her mouth? No, I couldn't. No, I couldn't personally. Alex is a strong. I'm not gonna lie. He's a strong man, but he also has 30 million reasons to stay with Cassie. Oh, I never thought about it like that. Yo, that is crazy, y'all. Have you thought about this? IE Network said Gene Deal was telling the truth before Diddy got raided. Then people started saying Jaguar Sloan Bella was the go-tos. Gene felt some type of way, and so he started lying to keep up. Yo, we're going to have to break down the science of that. I honestly feel like that's true. I feel like initially Gene Deal just started, just saying his stuff and just, you late. Oh, wait, y'all knew that? Oh, I guess I'm the only one who didn't know. But yeah, that makes a lot of sense though now. Because let's be honest, the truth isn't that great. Remember before when we thought there was hella celebrities on these Freakoff tapes? Now that we know it's just Cassie on the tapes, we're kind of like, oh, that's it? Even though it's still bad, you guys. It's still bad, the stuff he was making her do. But we kind of think like, oh, that's it? It's not. And I think that's why also a lot of people aren't that interested because they thought this was going to be a whole celebrity takedown. Remember? Oh, yeah, they're going to start taking them down and all these celebrities are going to burn and go to hell. And it's not that. Diddy was just being experimental, my new favorite word, experimental about his sexuality and shit. That's all it was. That's why I warned an old member in 2023 from Bad Boy this wouldn't be good. Even I'll Be Sure mentioned a lot of collateral damage is being done. Ladies, that accountability will swing to women. All the talk about gay sex, and then they were just with Cassie. Yeah, Diddy never touched any of them. None of them have said like, "Oh yeah, me and Diddy hooked up." No. Excuse me. But again, I always go back because of what he liked and what he specifically requested. We're not going to say Diddy was what they call there's curious. He had curiosity. He was experimental. Our new favorite word, right? That I just invented. Experimental. Watch, you're gonna start seeing people say experimental. I promise you. AT2 is a trendsetter. Y'all, I don't know if y'all know that, but I'm a trendsetter. If Diddy was so abusive and dealing with all the women, Cassie would still be with him. No, I can't disagree. If the truth isn't outlandish and salacious, people don't want to hear it. Yeah. And I do feel like Gene Deal got to the point where it's like, okay, I gotta keep up because nobody want to hear my stories because they're not that salacious anymore. Compared to it, if I have to go with Gene Deal or Jaguar Wright, who would you rather hear a story? Let's do a game real quick. Who would you rather hear a story from? Gene Deal or Jaguar Wright? Or no, let me say, who's the better storyteller? Gene Deal or Jaguar Wright? Gene Deal is a good storyteller. Like, don't get me wrong, he's a good storyteller. But Jaguar Wright, she eats everybody up with her storytelling. The emotion and everything she do, I gotta give it to Jag if I'm gonna be honest. Let's be a little experimental. Okay, Gene, Jag liar, Gene. See? Gene Deal, but Jaguar is better storyteller. Yeah, okay. Take emotion out of it. Let's say that. Take emotion out of it. Who would you rather listen to? Jag the Hag, Gene Deal. Jag just a good liar. Gene gives me slow at times. Damn. That means you like lies. Well, they both lie, so either way, you are okay with lying. Anyway, see how I got Princess back? Storyteller, aka Fibber, right. Tall teller, yeah. Jaguar imagined herself being able to be in the presence of those people. At one point, she was and was telling the stories truthfully. Then she started wanting to make money and support. But she claims that she was in a room. She was in the room where Diddy was, but was she actually in those rooms, Miss Barbara? I don't think so. I think that was all made up. They both overhyped and egotistical. Oh, she's prepared. I heard that she hasn't been served yet from Brian McKnight. That's what I heard. She hasn't been served yet. Why aren't you in New York on the Diddy trial? We need you here in NYC. Listen, one of the things that I thought about, we'll have this conversation right now. I don't mind it. I don't know if it's beneficial for me to go as far as I'm going to recoup what I lose as far as spending. I feel like going to New York, that would be more of an investment because, hey, I went to New York and, I was at the trial, but I don't know if it'll be lucrative. And I don't want to say that, oh, well, it's all about money, right? See, that's the catch-22. I don't want to say it's all about money because I'm there to cover something. However, when you look at those prices for the hotel rooms, I at least, I wouldn't mind going and it being a wash to where I don't lose anything. I don't mind that, where it's just a wash. But if I'm spending money, but I'm not recouping it, why do I want to put an R in there? Recouping it on the back end, then I feel like it wouldn't, if anything, if I do go, it'll be later. If I do end up going, it'll be later on. But I think as of right now, I don't think it's lucrative for me to go, especially so late. If it was in the beginning, I'll be like, oh yeah, definitely it makes a lot of sense. But now that it's week 2 and stuff like that, I don't think it would be so. It would be more me spending a lot of money. Yeah. And that's just me being honest. The $100 night hotels got rats. And listen, they rats is pretty big out there. I ain't gonna lie. I would run. If I seen a rat in New York, I would run. I've seen videos, they look like small puppies. I'm running. I don't give a damn. You can't stomp on that. Can you gamble? No, why are you gonna talk about my addiction? No, I don't think they have casinos in New York. Unless they do. No, I wouldn't be there gambling though. I would just be there for work. I might mix and mingle a little bit with the people, but I would just be there just to work and give you guys the content. I wouldn't be, oh, Atlantic City. Yeah, 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 yeah. But that's in Jersey. Yeah, but like I said, it's not all about the money. But at the end of the day, do I have the money to spend like that and to just be okay and not recruit all that back? No. Like I can't like say like tomorrow, I could go for a few days, right? But why just go for a few days? If I'm gonna go, I at least should go for a week, right? It just gotta make sense for me, basically. That's what I'm saying. Oh, they have some in upstate. Okay. No, I think there will continue to be jaw dropping tea coming out of courtroom until it ends. You should definitely go a couple of days if you get the means to. Yeah, exactly. And while speaking of that, somebody send me $200 so I can go to New York right now. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not kidding. No, I really do want $200. Let me speak that into the universe. I want 200. Yeah, I feel like Cassie's testimony, like that was like, okay, people really, reckon it in. But I feel like now everyone else, like, I don't know if there could be a testimony now that would really be as big. I think Cassie was the biggest. Unless we find out who Jane Doe is, victim number 3, I could see that being a good week to go. But again, I don't know who that is, so no telling. But victim number 3, the Jane Doe, I think that would be the next big one. But other than that, I don't think Cassie was kind of it. Yeah, Kid Cudi is tomorrow. Right. And it's kind of like, okay, what could I do differently there than what anybody else is doing? Except I would have firsthand knowledge and not have to read it on CNN or that guy on Twitter that does the recap. Like I could actually be in the courtroom. If I could get if I could make the trip like something like I could get a few interviews out of people and stuff like that, then I could see like it being more lucrative that way. Even if I don't make any money and I'm just spending money, at least I'm getting more content out of it. You know what I mean? What about puff witnesses? I don't see. That's the thing. I don't know if that would even. I feel like Cassie was the biggest one, and so now it's kind of like, okay, well, she's done. I don't know. More things are going to come out, right? And we're going to be able to talk about it. But shit, I could just do that from home rather than go down there and spend all that money and be out thousands of dollars. You know what I mean? It just got to make the listen. Jaguar brought her broke ass home after one day. I'm just saying. And I think someone who did it right, and I didn't read your whole comment, but Armand Tisa tells, I think they got like a Airbnb. Can you see me? Put a one if you can see me. They did the Airbnb thing. I think that's very smart the way they. Oh shit, my internet going out. Okay, I was gonna end the show anyway in a minute. Yeah, Armand doing it big. Yeah, Armand Tisa tells. Shout out. He doesn't have an Airbnb, but shout out to Mims. Of course, you know Mims is the homie. Shout out to Celebrity Scandalous. I you know. Let me talk about Celebrity Scandalous real quick. So yesterday morning, I had hit her up and I was like, "Hey, can you come on the show later? Because I thought it would be cool, like, if she came on my show, later on in the evening, and we could do like a recap and stuff like that together." She still hasn't responded to me. I'm all like, "Oh, okay, you big timing now. You with the big dogs. You ain't got time for me." So if y'all see Celebrity Scandalous, tell her AT2 is looking for her. All right. All right, I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. My computer freezing. Love y'all. Deuces. We out. What you got prepaid? What?